Good afternoon and welcome to Mostar, Bosnia's most famous city. A city of just over 100,000 people, and we arrived late last night after taking the train from Sarajevo and checked into this place, Villa Flores. We are a stone's throw from the old town, which is the centerpiece of Mostar. The reason so many people come to this city, I think we're around a 500-meter walk, and we'll show you properly where we are staying tomorrow morning. This really was such a great find in such a peaceful location. Look, we've got the stream running down the front of the property, but today we are doing one thing and one thing only, and that is the old town of Mostar in 37-degree heat, with all the day trippers from the cruise ships. Wish us luck.
We are actually staying right opposite the Peace Bell Tower, which unfortunately in 1992 was completely destroyed. So this is the newer version, and it stands at over 300 feet tall, so you can see it from most of the city. And Mostar was actually the city that put Bosnia on the travel map due to its close proximity with Croatia. So people would come from Dubrovnik, from Split on their cruise ships, and on their day trips they would come here, and then people like us that come from Sarajevo to explore the beautiful city.
It seems as though as soon as you pass the Peace Tower, the tourism, the old town starts to begin. And like I said, you can see the booming tourism. Just opposite me there is a giant Marriott hotel that is being built. It must be so good for Bosnia. The post-war boom is finally happening, and I can see right in front of me now the entrance to the old town. It looks like we're going to be squashed.
We have had our trusty yellow suitcase for the last year and a half, and we were literally the talk of the airports, with people constantly asking us, where is your suitcase from? Well, we have actually kindly been sent an upgrade from level 8, and this is the Voyager check-in travel suitcase, all in black, and isn't she beautiful? These are crafted specifically for adventure, and they are built to endure. The level 8 suitcases really are the perfect accessory. We absolutely love the quiet 360 spin-up wheels, and the fact that there are multiple handles, because it makes it easier for me to be able to lift and move the suitcase around. Literally our main concern when traveling, other than the fact that, like, is our check-in bag gonna arrive, is the check-in bag coming and being damaged. Luckily, level 8 is crafted in polycarbonate. Now that is technical, but it does mean that it is durable and lightweight, which is very important. Thank you so much to level 8 for keeping us traveling in style, but also making sure that our adventures are a lot easier. Use our link in the description to get your suitcase today. And welcome to the old town, dating back to the 16th century during the Ottoman time, with the gorgeous cobbled stone floor and the winding little alleys. This bazaar is full of traditional crafts, traditional souvenirs, lots of different restaurants, and a lot of people. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can ask me a question.
Are these real?
Yes, they are real. Empty shell of the bullet.
Empty shell of the bullet?
Yes, and
Wow.
today they are they are not killing anyone. They are.
Good.
They're used for good things.
Yeah. Now out of the bad thing, you make a good thing.
I like that. I love
Really
that.
cool.
Yes.
We will take one pen and one keychain, if that's okay. So I'll pass them to you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank
Now
you
I've
very
got
much.
two. Perfect. Which one do you
Voila.
want? I'll get the blue one. That's perfect. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
She was the nicest lady, and that has got to be the best souvenir I've seen throughout the old town. Of course, like most bazaars, you're going to find a lot of tourist tats, but this is poignant. She said you could find these all over the city, and of course the two sieges of Mostar, one in 92, then again in 93 when the east and the west of the city were fighting each other. But now you are using something bad into something good.
Just off of the main shopping street in the bazaar is the Kupria. I'm really trying my hardest with the pronunciation. Essentially, it means the crooked bridge, and it was built back in the 1500s, and actually it was a prototype of the famous Mostar attraction of the old bridge, which we're going to show you in a bit. But look how cute it is.
I feel like not many tourists know this bridge exists. They all go to the Stari most, the star of the show, what put Mostar on the map. But this is just as impressive, and this was actually here first, and the views just as good. You've got the river running below it, and you've got all of these restaurants either side overlooking the view. You really are sport for choice with restaurants, and if you're in Mostar, you've got to eat somewhere with a view.
Hello. Of course.
Do you have one with a good view of the bridge?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
You can
Voila.
always check.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your food.
Chivali. We have come into restaurant Divan. Now, we did actually want to sit down in two different places. So we wanted to sit down on the old bridge, and we also wanted to sit down on the crooked bridge, and this seems to be like the perfect place. We've got water vapour, which is keeping me cool in this 37-degree heat. You've got the river flowing and the beautiful view of the bridge, and we have a bottle of Mostar, their own beer, and it even has a picture of the old bridge there. Refreshing.
And I mean, as views go, it does not get much better than this. Okay, do you think we've ordered too much food?
My mouth is salivating, and no, actually, because we haven't had breakfast, so this is perfect. We have chivaki, the meat fingers. We have mashed potato, which is kind of a random one and not traditional, but we'll forgive that. We've got stuffed peppers with meat, and I believe there's some rice in there. We have dolma, sama, whatever you want to call it, the vine leaves mixed, and we also have stuffed courgette with meat. What am I going to try first?
I think they call it the Divan Herzegovina plate.
Oh my god, look, no, there's rice under here as well. This is a lot, and I believe on the menu it said 45 Bosnian marks, which is like
£20?
£25, something like that. Okay, peppers and mash. Delicious. Hearty. The mash is really unusual though, but they're the most favourite ones we've had.
You know what I'm going in for. I'm straight for the chivaki. We actually ordered a side of ivar and kaymak. The ivar is like the pepper dish, the kaymak, the sour cream, cheesy goodness of.
Mixing the two is top tier.
Mix the two and you have the best sandwich. They're so fresh. I'm still worried because there's a lot of platters that cost a lot more, and I can't believe that all this will only be like £20. We have been well and truly defeated. Our eyes were too big for our belly. We were defeated, well and truly defeated. But if you are coming to Mostar for just one day, I would highly recommend going to Divan and getting the platter, so you get a taste of Bosnia. But we have now made it to the Stari Most Bridge, the most famous site in the entire country, dating back to the 16th century. This was actually destroyed in the Croat-Bosniak War in 1993 and then was rebuilt and reopened in 2004 before getting UNESCO World Heritage status in 2005. And the views from up here, stunning, honestly. You've got so many restaurants overlooking it that we'll go to later. We've got a local guy behind us that stands there. He will jump eventually. It's crazy. I don't know how you could jump from up here. They've actually been doing it for over 450 years, but he'll whip up the crowd, get everyone going, and then come around and ask for your money. Do you fancy jumping?
I don't think so. It's actually crazy that they let tourists jump from up here. Of course you have to pay a little bit of money, but yeah, not for me. I'd rather stand and look at it.
That is the Balkan health and safety.
It is.
There is absolutely no chance, zero chance you would get me jumping off that. I don't even know how high it is. It's well over, it's got to be well over 10 meters. I think you can pay 25 euros. They'll teach you and then you can jump in yourself. The guy still hasn't gone yet. I think he's getting down now. He's getting down. He waits till there's a bigger crowd and then give him some money, give him 5-10 euros each. And he'll do the jump. Madman. It's a lot more colourful on the other side. Oh, we can go out here, Molly.
Really?
I'm going to go out here first, on the other side of the bridge, but we've just come into the Koski Mehmet Pasha Mosque, which dates back to around 1618, and we've paid 15 marks each to be able to access not only the mosque, but the minaret above to see the views of the town below. This is a tight squeeze, and a very unique experience. We've only ever been up a minaret once before in Romania, and I'm sure we didn't get views as good as we're gonna get in just a minute.
We've made it. I didn't think those stairs were ever going to end, but this view, we've been trying to find places with the best view. This really is it. You can't top it. We're overlooking Stari Most. You can see all the terraces.
And you're on top of the minaret. You're literally, look. If they start calling to prayer, that is going to burst my ear.
Wow.
What a view, honestly. And we are one of only 2 couples that are up here at the moment. I feel like the city, past 4 o'clock in the afternoon, gets really quiet. All the day trippers go back to Dubrovnik and Split, and then you get to enjoy it pretty much to yourself. You've got the Neretva River running below, which I think they might put food colouring in because it is so blooming blue. But if you want the best view in the whole city, 15 mark, come up the mosque, climb the minaret and take it all in. We now have the entire minaret to ourselves.
For me, by far, this is the #1 recommendation that I have, and that's because people like us, we went and tried to find the restaurant with the best view or to try and find something different, but from up here you get this amazing view, you get the best view.
And you stood on history.
Yeah, and you're stood on history, so yeah, #1 recommendation for you. We have been trying to make room for our dinner after our massive lunch. We even walked down to the river bank where you can watch people jump off the bridge. Unfortunately, no one did for us. They were actually just teasing, but you can get a little boat to take you along for around, I think it's like 10 euros per person, but we didn't fancy it in 38 degrees and it was only 10 minutes long, but you wouldn't believe it. It's 31 degrees still at 8 PM right now. We've come into Bella Vista. We actually came here yesterday and today we reserved a table because, as you can see behind me, it has one of the best views and we really enjoyed it yesterday. I feel like we're probably going to be sharing a meal tonight.
As old towns go, this has got to be one of the most stunning you are ever going to find, and this is part of the plan to help me have dinner. A honey rakia, basically the brandy that you will find throughout the Balkans, and it can be very strong.
Is it nice?
Oh, that's good. Easy. That's a very, very easy one, but apparently it will help my lunch digest and make room.
Anyway.
We are praying.
Chavapi, chavapi, chavapi. You didn't want to see me eat any more
of that delicious, succulent Bosnian meat. That sounded a little bit weird, but make sure you reserve a spot if you want to have dinner overlooking the old bridge and Bella Vista. It's very good, and like I said, we ended up eating more cevapi, but we are up bright and early because today we are going to be exploring the Herzegovina region of the country. I've just grabbed a nice espresso with hot milk. Is that just a cappuccino? I'm not sure. At Villa Flores, I've told you we need to show you around where we have been staying. I'm sat in a beautiful garden looking at the stream at the bottom. I need to drink this, show you the room, and we need to get out. We've got a busy day ahead. So not only do we have a lovely area to have your coffee here, you've got this beautiful garden. You could just go to the shop, get some beers and chill out here all day, and have a little seating area there. Kitchen area, you could prepare your food, and we actually have a rooftop there where you've got views of the entire city. Good morning, and this is our apartment.
This is our home. It does feel very homely, purely because it's super quiet, very serene, very peaceful. But we have our storage, a humongous sofa. It's actually a sofa bed, so if there's more of you, I'm sure you can join. We have our smart TV, table and chairs, kitchen area, and as Matt's already shown you, we have the coffee. They literally give you free tea and coffee outside in the lobby, which I really like as well, because if you don't have breakfast, you obviously need a coffee. Our bedroom, again with beautiful views of the garden, our bathroom, and they were so kind to us because when we arrived, we got given a bottle of Mostar wine, which I'm sure we'll crack open later, and we got a Mostar plate. You'll find these in the old town. Hang on, let me just show you. You'll
Such a cool souvenir.
They are. You'll find them in the old town, and look at that. What a lovely thing to take away.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, hey.
Nice
to meet you. Thanks for grabbing us.
Well, that was quite hectic, but welcome to the stunning River Buna here in Herzegovina. We have actually hijacked MEET Bosnia's tour today from Sarajevo. They do a day trip from the capital going to Mostar and the surrounding areas, and we have jumped in from a petrol station to join the surrounding areas portion of the trip. And I mean, as first stops go, it doesn't get much better than this.
Welcome to Blagaj. It is pretty stunning. So the reason that you come here is for the Dervish house. Now I don't know too much about it, but it is a monastery dating back to the Ottoman times. It's like a unique form of Islam. We'd never heard of it before, so it is really interesting. We've actually opted not to go in though, purely because we can get the same view.
And we don't have long. You can either go inside or go and admire the views.
But from here we can see the house as well, so it's pretty cool.
Now this is a bit of us, as we only have around half an hour at this spot. We have opted to come into one of the many restaurants that line the River Buna, but this one right at the front, which I actually... Vrelo. Come to Vrelo and you have the most amazing views of the monastery, and I actually believe that this river is the longest underground river in all of Europe, but don't quote me on that.
Bala, thank you so much.
Ziveli.
This is probably not the best thing to be having in 37-degree heat, but I don't know, I just fancy something traditional, seeing as we're sat on the river. I feel like I would love to dip in that.
It's so inviting.
It's inviting, it's blue, it's clear, it's so clean, and it's just running rapidly through. But Bosnian coffee is this way. Bite of sugar. Oh, that was too much. And drink your coffee. Cheers.
You could actually come and spend the day here. I can see further up that there's actually a boat going through the mountain, through the underground river, which would be incredible. But 30 minutes, Bosnian coffee,
I think we cracked it.
Turkish delight. One thing about Bosnia, they know how to do a blooming good river.
Can I have 2 tickets? so much.
When you hear that in the distance, well, if you can, that is Kravice Waterfall, which really for us was the holy grail, the icing on the cake for this region of Bosnia. We did have a little pit stop on the way. Welcome to Mostar, a little brick town on the banks of the river, and above us is a 14th century fortress dating back to the Bosnian kingdom. I'm actually not sure we're going to make it up today. Everyone else from our group has given up, and we only have 30 minutes to get up and back down, which I don't think we'll achieve, but it is a really stunning, quaint little town. Reminds me a lot of Jurikasta in Albania. So this town used to be extremely popular, but since the war in the 1990s, a lot of people have left. A lot of the young people have gone to the cities for work, and really only around 60 people remain, whether they own one or two of the restaurants or a souvenir shop, which is a shame because these little villages are unfortunately slowly dying out. But we have now arrived, and this place apparently has become very touristy in recent years. It used to be free 10 years ago to enter, but it is now 20 Bosnian marks each, and we have a quick run down the hill because I want to get a beer and I want to go for a swim. Wow.
This is incredible. Welcome to Pasha, I can't say it. Kravice Waterfall, multiple cascading waterfalls, and this is so refreshing. I want to get in right now, but I have a fun fact for you. Actually, the name Krav means cows, because supposedly back in the day, the legend says that cows would make their way to drink from the waterfall. So we're going to be the cows.
I am going to go down to there and drink an ice cold beer. This is so perfect. They have set it up perfectly. There's a little beach with my name on, with a little bar where you can get a beer, go for a swim and spend an hour in one of Europe's most impressive waterfalls. Probably a waterfall you have never heard of before.
Belly, cheers. This is so needed. Before we get into the water, we're having hydration. This is actually a Croatian beer because here they don't have any Bosnian beers. And actually today of all days, there has been a power cut across the country, across Montenegro, across Croatia. So yeah, the beer's warm, there's no draft beer, but hydration and then in the water.
I mean, this is a little bit of alright. Sat next to a giant cascading waterfall in a deck chair on a beach, drinking my first ever Croatian beer. To be fair, we are only 4 kilometers
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that.
from the border, so it makes sense that we would be drinking one. And what a place. We did originally plan to come here for the day ourselves, but to get here there's no buses, so a taxi would have cost as much just to come here as doing an entire day trip. Bosnia. Who would have thought it? I don't think I've actually ever seen a waterfall with this many different cascades anywhere in the world. Previously in Laos, I mean, obviously the water's not as blue, but for a European one, for a Bosnian one, you wouldn't think you would find something like this. The setup is very Asian. With all the bars, the barbecue around the waterfall, you can do little boat trips to go underneath the cascade.
They've done it well.
We back in Thailand? That! Wow! It takes your breath away. It is 40 degrees outside right now, but this Oh, is the freshest of water. That is so good, and look at it. Unbelievable, Bosnia.
This is definitely some of the freshest water we've been in. I mean, the last time was in Laos when the water was this. It's not as cold as this though. It's beautiful, and surprisingly, for the amount of people that are here, you can find your own little spot to relax and enjoy.
If I showed you that right there, you'd probably be like to me, oh, is it Thailand? Is it the Philippines? Is it Hawaii? Would you think that is blooming Bosnia? I keep saying it. It's been a hot one today, it really has. And if you're going to do one thing throughout your time in Bosnia, I would highly recommend the Kravice Waterfall, especially when it's 40 degrees and you can go in there, you can cool down. It would have been great if we could spend the entire day drinking beer, eating cevapi, swimming in the ice cold waterfall, but we actually left MEET Bosnia as they continued the tour into Mostar. Honestly, if you aren't in the country for long and want to cover as much as possible, I would highly recommend them. But we are back at Villa Flores. We have gone to the supermarket, we have grabbed some kaimak, some bread, some ivar and some cheese, and we're going to chill out in the sun, probably crack open our nice red Bosnian wine and enjoy our last afternoon in Mostar as we are heading to Trebinje tomorrow, which might be our final destination in the country. But obviously Mostar, it does exactly what it says on the tin. A beautiful town, great restaurants, great food, and some amazing day trips just a stone throw away from the city. So if you are coming from a day trip from Croatia or you're staying here for a few days, make sure you add Mostar to a European bucket list, and we'll see you in the next one from Trebinje.